Fuck.
Welcome back to the Critical Minutes.
I'm ready.
It's been a while since we played. Catch everybody up on what happened last time if you guys watched or didn't watch. Our heroes here, Hector, Alvin, Frozen Cloak, and Bessie, were sent to reconnaissance the soldiers of the Silver Serpent.
Oh, we reconnaissance the hell out of
Boy, did we reconnaissance them.
I did a lot of reconnaissance. You guys did a lot of the reconnaissancing.
Right.
If that's a word.
So,
yeah,
we succeeded in the mission.
I actually did reconnaissance.
Well, you did find out a pretty disturbing fact. There's a traitor in your organization.
I'm not a fan of that.
No. I figured you especially would not be. But you did let the big baddie slip out of there.
She had a giant...
I don't know, it might have been worse than info.
Yeah, let is kind of a strong word.
She did have a giant snake. So, you know that the soldiers of the Silver Serpent are pulling out of the region back to a town called Al-Sharir.
Okay.
You have never been there, nor do you really know much of it. Actually, I don't know if you know much of it. Why don't you all do history checks?
Alright. I'm trying to...
That's a good
28.
Wow.
5.
16.
I don't know much.
You know.
I read a lot of books.
Hector.
I think he
You've been
knows
around.
everything.
Hector's been around a while. He knows what's up. Al-Sharir is a gambler's den. It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Guys, it's a gambler's den, a wretched hide of scum and villainy.
Wow, I feel like I just heard... Oh, yeah.
Deja vu for some
Yeah.
reason.
I feel like I already heard that on the wind.
Right. So you have made your return trip back to Chisis to report back to your leader, Sara Del Vox.
Yes.
And you arrive, and you notice these three gentlemen standing here. Now you remember
Well, that one
these?
guy definitely looked like a gentleman.
Well, you remember
You
these
should
guys?
remember specifically.
Yeah, you remember
Oh,
these
that's
guys.
that
Yes. These are the three gentlemen you interacted with during your tryouts.
Come get me, Bigum.
He doesn't acknowledge you. In fact, all three of them look pretty beat up.
What was the name of that big guy? Bunga?
It doesn't matter.
Barunga.
Oh, hey, Bunga.
Yes.
What's up?
He does not acknowledge you. He turns and looks at you and just.
Oh, maybe I got it wrong. Unga Bunga?
He looks at you and just gives you kind of like a grunt. And you can see he's got a big scar on his face now. Not a scar, a gash on his face.
Last mission didn't go too well, did it?
Not entirely.
You should have reconnaissanced them.
Wait, aren't there 4 of you?
No, there's only 3.
No, there was only three of them.
Oh, so the one in the back is the dwarf?
There's no dwarf.
Wasn't there a dwarf of them?
No, she has a dwarf with her, Sarah.
Yes.
Oh,
Sarah
okay.
Del Vox has a dwarf named Craig, who is her assistant.
Gotcha.
These three are Barunga, a Goliath, the tall guy you see standing there.
Right.
The man next to him is Dimitri, who looks to be a human warrior. And in the back there is an orc shaman named Krugat. And all three of them seem a little bit worse for the wear, but all right. And talking to them, actually, is this guy right here. And this guy. I don't know why he's over there. And he kind of glances over at you and looks you all over and just kind of scoffs and then turns and sees Sara Del Vox walking up to you.
What do they look like, the ones talking to them?
The dark-haired gentleman that you see there, he's dressed in full black attire, and he has a very big long sword on his back. The guy next to him is a dragonborn, armored out the ass with a big shield.
Alright. I think these are my rivals immediately.
Are we talking to Sara Del Vox or are we...
Sara Del Vox walks over to you with Craig, actually, and she says, "Good to see you've returned safely."
Ah.
Well, some of us, safely. And I, nudge over to these guys.
Well, they were sent on a much different mission than yours.
I actually reach into my coat. I pull out an arm with a tattoo of the of the serpents, throw it on the ground, and go, "We reconnaissance."
She looks a little shocked and then goes, "What did you do?"
Reconnaissance
We did it.
What does that word mean?
means leave a trail of bodies, right?
No.
It's okay. No one's gonna tell you what happened to them.
Why not? That's what we wanted to know.
Well, we found out some stuff, but they won't be talking to anybody else ever again. We reconnaissance.
What did you find out?
We reconnaissance.
What could you have possibly found out?
Oh, alright, so this is the part where I have to tell you some bad news.
In private.
Why in private? Oh, well, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, actually, you're right, in private.
What?
Remember, you guys didn't want me to tell her. But you can't stop it if you try. I'll scream from the rooftops, dude. I don't care.
She goes, we don't have much time for privacy.
You should make time for this.
Well, the Lord Commander's on his way here now.
Okay, well then let's go right now.
Huh?
Yeah, let's go. In the room.
Quickly. No, just me. Just me. It's fine. Alright, so does she come with me?
she walks off.
So I kind of
right
I like bring her over kind of like by a wall. That's Hector. That's not me. Oh my god.
Well, Sarah, this is so sudden.
Oh my god, Sarah.
Come with me, old man.
Gotta show you some things. So I say to her, we found out about the only thing we got out of the bad guy, whose name I forget. Don't remember her name. Anyway,
her name.
Yeah.
Roll a history check. See if you remember.
15.
You remember her name was Ariana something.
Ariana. Okay. The bad girl, I should say. His name was Ariana, and she told us that there are some double agents within the Djinn Hunter order.
She kind of nods her head for a second and looks down. She goes, "The woman you spoke to is Ariana Stormwind. She is a vicious fighter and leader of a small rebel group based out of Al Sharir."
Well, the rebel group she leads is a lot smaller now.
I can't imagine the destruction you caused.
You really can't.
She has
you literally can't.
She has hundreds at her command.
She has 100 less. Let's just leave it at that.
100?
I don't remember how many we reconnaissanced, but one of them definitely had a lot.
Stop saying that you reconnaissance.
Okay.
You don't understand what that means.
Well, one of them I know we reconnaissance because he was missing limbs at the end.
That's not how it works.
Alright. Semantics, whatever.
If you leave someone with missing limbs and blood,
right,
then you have done the opposite of reconnaissance. Reconnaissance means hang back and watch, don't touch.
Oh, that's totally not what we did.
I understand.
It definitely felt like reconnaissance.
You brought me an arm.
I didn't. All right, I was involved a little bit. I might have stepped on somebody's sword to try to break a leg. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. Anyway, back to the point. She had a giant snake with her also. I don't know if you know anything about that, but
Probably her pet basilisk.
yeah. I don't know how you get one of those to be a pet. But,
How did you escape?
this is the part I'm not very proud of, but I promise you, I'll make it up to you. But we had to let her go
So
in exchange for the information, which apparently was the point of the mission, to reconnaissance her.
And our lives.
Well, and yes, that was a thing too.
while this is a valuable piece of information you've brought me, you now let them know that they're being investigated by Djinn Hunters.
Well, she actually doesn't know that we're Djinn Hunters. I don't think.
She didn't know.
She didn't know. Yeah, she didn't know.
Actually, no, she did know because
Did she?
she told you there was a person in your organization.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if she said in our organization or just in the organization
No.
in general. Okay.
She knew.
All right. Fair enough. But she doesn't know our names. She thinks we're all named Hector for some reason.
Well, that's. I'm not even going to. Well,
Different spellings of Hector.
Well, it's Hector. It's kind of
Right.
complicated.
Hector. Oh yeah.
Hector.
well. Do you know where they're going back? Where they're leaving?
Al Shair. Is that right?
Al Sharir. She's
Al-Sharir.
pulling back to her homeland.
All right. So if you give us more troops, we can take them down.
We can't get into Al Sharir.
I don't understand.
Do you know how we get to places?
She's calling you an idiot.
Oh, I am aware. Yes.
We can't do that with that. This one place.
That part I get, but Why?
She stops and laughs. She says, Al Sharir is a suspended city. It's got a natural moat around it. It's canyons encompassing a large stone pillar rock. The only way to access it is a drawbridge. And it's
Or to walk on water.
No, there's no water. It's
Oh,
chasms.
okay.
100-foot drops and 100-foot span before you even reach the bridge. There's a large drawbridge that gets in and out, and we don't know how to get in. For now, the information that there's a traitor in our organization is good. The fact that we know that, it helps us. Present your information to the Lord Commander, and maybe he'll overlook the fact that you guys...
I don't think that's a great idea. Look, I'm not saying that the Lord Commander is anything but just. I've never met the person, but I'm just saying you're the only one I can trust with this information.
Oh.
It's an internal...
If you can trust me, you can trust the Lord Commander.
Well, then
Remember, it was a male.
it wasn't it a male? I thought it was a female.
He said
it was a male,
we tricked her into saying that it was at least a guy.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah,
it
because
was
I'm really good at that.
and it was
I'm
a
really
short
turning the
guy.
conversation.
It was a short guy.
Oh, yes, it was a short male. I don't know good remembering, because I don't remember that.
I didn't even remember that.
I was like,
sorry.
fuck, I
I'm
rewrote
sorry,
this.
I broke character. What is short? Is that bread?
No, but it is true. I mean, we did just come from the mission, so we probably would remember it anyway.
No.
I would, at least.
Dull as a stone.
Well, it's a short male. I don't know if that means it's a dwarf, a gnome, whatever, but or just a short human. I don't know, but that narrows the search a bit. How much do you trust your buddy?
With my life. He's the one who recruited me.
All right. Well.
Oh, you mean Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, I trust Craig. Craig's had my life in his hands many times, and we only work together. If he was feeding someone information, I would know about it.
All right. I'll take your word for it, because you're the only one I trust right now, besides the three I run with.
I wouldn't trust me.
The two of the ones I run with, at least. No, Hector saved my life. Yeah.
Just to end it later. Myself.
Wow. Oh my god. I will never defy your gaze, I'm sorry.
She kind of looks back, and she sees this man enter the hall, and there are a couple of guards around him.
Can you make doves fly behind him?
No.
It's just John Woo just walking into a room.
And she sees him walk in and turns around to you and goes, "You and Priest Finch's group over there will be presenting both of your mission statements to the Lord Commander. This is very important. You need to impress him. And the fact that you found out there's a traitor in the organization is going to go a long way to doing that. I'll let you be the...
But how do I tell him that we let them leave?
Unfortunately, you just have to be honest."
Oh, I have no problem with being honest. I just...
She
worried, that's
nods and says, "I'll leave it in your hands then."
Alright.
And she fucks off. Actually, she walks over in front of you all.
I'm using the the dismembered arm as a back scratcher.
Lord Commander's like,
Why is it so loose?
shouldn't have cut the fingernails.
She motions and turns to you and says to you, she says, "Everyone kneel before Lord Commander."
I was literally just going to say, before anyone does anything, I was going to kneel and bow my head.
Everyone kneel before Lord Commander. His name is... Wait a second. Hold on a second.
Are you writing everything down?
Yeah, I'm writing stuff down. I don't know how to kneel. I have double jointed legs.
Just
as long as you
get
bow.
lower.
Yeah.
Get lower.
I just do. I do one of these.
This is Lord Commander Tyrell Matthias.
Ooh, I like that name.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Tyrell Matthias.
Not the one with the bad memory is the one writing everything down. And all the ones that are supposed to have good memory
I don't
are
have paper.
relying on their memory.
I don't have paper.
And
Perfect.
Lord Commander says, "Team leaders, send forth your squad commanders." And Sara Del Vox kind of looks around at you four and goes, "Well?"
Oh.
I stand up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hector also.
Hey, he's our old.
Yeah,
He's the oldest.
he's the
most
oldest.
But it's
experienced.
going to take me a little bit to get back up.
You need me to carry you, old man? Have you wet yourself again?
I was gonna say, don't let him carry you again.
Sarah motions for you to step up, and these two part ways to allow this guy, which you remember his name is Dimitri, to walk forward.
Oh,
Sarah
Dimitri.
comes and stands next to you, and Finch comes and stands next to him. And Lord Matthias turns to first Priest Finch and goes, Priest Finch, your group's findings? And
Lots of knives, apparently.
Dimitri said, we found out how the Djinn were kidnapped or stolen during our tryouts. There's a small kobold tunnel near here that leads underneath the city. And we figure somehow whoever wanted to steal the Djinn gained access that way. And he turns and he says, and Priest Vox, your group? And he turns and he looks at you.
Upon subtle investigation, we came across the information
I definitely no torture. Don't even say that word.
There's some troubling news in the ranks.
What sort of news?
There seems to be a traitor amongst us. I don't have any details as to who. I just know that there's someone in the organization.
You know the small details.
He's male and he's short.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's male and he's rather small.
He nods and for a second kind of collects his thoughts, and then he says, Finch, you and your men are excused. I'll have a mission for you later today. Thank you. And they all leave. And he also turns and tells his two bodyguards, Crean, Garrett, out.
Oh dear God, we're gonna get murdered.
What?
Don't piss them off. Mud everywhere.
And Lord, now that he has everyone out, Lord Matthias turns to you all and goes, this is very troubling news. Thank you for your discretion in telling me. Was there anything else you found out about young Miss Stormwind and her...
Real quick though, I'd like to kind of watch Craig as this whole thing is going on. Like,
Okay.
As he said that, I want to like kind of see if Craig's kind of giving off any funny vibes.
Like body language type?
Yeah, kind of like nervous or anything like that.
Okay. Do a perception check.
Okay.
Or if you'd like insight.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the.
Didn't want to say anything because the DM could just kill me.
Yeah.
Heart attack. Get out of here.
Well, actually, do you want to roll my insight check? You tell me what I believe because I don't want to base it on the roll.
Sure.
That's something we do a little bit of time because insight checks. If we
it's
know
a good
what
way to, in a situation like this, if you roll and you roll poorly and I say, oh, you believe him, then you know, metagamingly,
that you don't believe.
just a
in.
little
Right.
tip for D&D.
Yeah.
What's
So-
your modifier?
9.
9. Alright, he doesn't look suspicious at all, to be honest.
Okay, so
He
just
kinda
stone faced.
Yeah,
Okay.
he kind of farts.
I was like, oh god, because I'm pounding down right in his face, right.
Oh, you can rise. now.
oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
didn't-
you can all rise.
Well, I don't rise much.
Does the Lord Commander look over our group?
Yes.
He sees me with a dismembered hand scratching my back and go, and wave me with the head.
I just
He's a
picture
little
Toy Story.
perturbed by that, but he's
You're ruining what he told us subtle interrogation.
Subtle.
Or subtle investigation.
Our investigation was so swift that was all we could come across.
There's one more thing I'll say from the back. We know that Ariana Stormwind is headed towards Al Shair with a basilisk and a group of some of the soldiers of the Silent Serpent.
Al Sharir. Makes sense. It's a perfect place for her to hold up, avoid an attack or retaliation from us.
Which is precisely why we should attack.
What about the lumber mill? I say quietly from the back.
Go for it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
The
that's
lumber
where,
mill
that's where
that
the whole
we-
mission
That
took
we
place.
sieged.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but what do you want to say about it?
What about the lumber mill?
Well, that's where she was basing her their closest operations. There was a whole group of them there.
You want
uh,
The
some,
fact
like,
that they can get that close. I mean,
Well, they were close to a town called Crag Harbor. They weren't close to Chisis.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it took us a while to get there.
I forgot.
Yeah, no. We haven't seen them this close to Chisis since they broke in and had their hands in the theft of that nasty gin business. Speaking of which, the other group, Dimitri's group, they seem a little bit worse for wear. And you folks...
It's pretty clear.
You folks seem pretty sturdy. I have a fairly dangerous mission in mind.
My arms
Nope,
fall
I'm
off
out.
all the time.
What?
Nothing?
Oh, I've got a spare for you.
Oh, you keep that.
Yes.
I assure you the rewards are great.
I don't need rewards. Just tell me what to do.
Well, it's a side product of the mission. I have a feeling that these two instances are connected, that if we root out whoever stole these gin from our tryouts and allowed the soldiers of the Silver Serpent this close into Chisis, that we'll find the traitor in our organization as is. So what I'm going to have you four do is infiltrate in nearby the Cobalt tunnels that were used by the group to steal these gin.
Well, we know it was one of the owners of the apothecary, wasn't it?
It was. It was...
But somebody had to help them get them.
Exactly.
Gotcha, okay.
Exactly.
Just a middleman.
They were working under orders.
Okay,
What we want
gotcha.
to find out are whose orders.
Fair enough, okay.
And we can do that by talking to the Kobold Chieftain, Rotfang.
Okay.
How do we find him?
I'm sure he'll be somewhere in the Cavern Network.
Where should we start?
When should we start?
Now?
Possibly that apothecary. I mean, that's where they stored all those goods while they were moving through the tunnels.
That's true.
Must be an entrance there.
You could go that way, but to be honest, I think that was just a small storefront. There were no connections from there leading into the tunnels, at least that my men found. The closest way to get in is an old abandoned mining cave. It's about 3 miles outside of town, runs underneath the entire town, and there's a water entrance too, so you could get in probably undetected if any of you were good at going underwater.
No, you can't go underwater.
Yes, I can.
Your feet won't let you.
No, I don't have those shoes.
Oh.
You don't have water walking
I'm a
boots?
water shaper.
Oh.
Well, from
That's my
a
thing.
certain perspective, if somebody saw me swimming, they'd just be like, "Oh, there's a buffalo swimming."
Yeah, the normal. Yeah.
Until I come out, why is it armored?
Cows swim, right? That's what they do.
Local watering hole. Underground.
He
Because that's
says,
where buffaloes belong.
He says, it's settled then. You four will take initiative of this situation, get down there, and find out who talked Rotfang into allowing the soldiers of the Silver Serpent to use his caverns and get this close to Chisis. While you're down there, though, I do have a favor.
It's getting worse.
Yes.
I have a favor to ask. Now, this is not important to the mission, and if it needs to be avoided in order for the mission to be successful, please, go ahead.
Avoid it at all costs. Got it.
You want us to reconnaissance, don't you?
No reconnaissance necessary.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a killing mission.
So reconnaissance.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sarah explained to me it's a little different with reconnaissance. You're supposed to kill a little bit less people, but find out more.
No people, she said. She's right next to you. 0 of them.
God, it's so confusing.
It's not confusing.
My character's not very smart. Like,
Well, you have to kill some in order to get closer.
What is fast?
He says, there's an old shield that I have, or part of a shield anyway, that was originally owned by the king of the town that this city, Chisis, was founded upon, Onieros. One of the shields from the town was used as a magical protector, a barrier, and it would be a great thing to have it. It's a large half of a mithril shield. It should be somewhere down. What happened?
Bessie immediately perks up when he hears the words "me."
drops his back scratcher. What? Mithril?
If at any point you happen to come across it, it was stolen many years ago, I believe, by the thieving kobolds. So if by chance you happen to see it down there, they like anything shiny, especially mithril because it never rusts.
I look at my bracelet and put it in my coat.
You wear a coat?
I'll be sure.
Armor coat, whatever you want to call it.
Armor pocket.
Because you don't wear pants. We already
Yes,
established that.
that's a thing.
Well, what are pants?
Exactly.
Is that a food?
Yes,
You eat it.
yes. I'll be sure to get your shield back.
If at all possible. The first thing you need to do is find out who is helping Rotfang.
Okay.
He nods and turns and walks out the entrance door. And Sara Del Vox turns around to you all and goes, "That was very good. That went very well."
I think so. I agree.
He seemed very happy with your discovery. Now, to the more important task at hand, we're going to have to get you guys down into those caverns. Is there anything you'll need?
Probably some torches. Rope. Just basic survival.
You and your fucking rope.
How long? I mean, how big are these tunnels? Like, how long are we going to be down there? Is this an overnight mission kind of thing?
I've been down in the tunnels once, but that was many years ago, and they were pretty vast already.
From the way it made
Okay.
it sounded
Well,
like they're everywhere.
All right.
Possibly. Do you guys have your own enchanter?
No, but there is an enchanter in town.
Do you have any sway
He's a
with
nice
him?
guy. I met him.
Not really. No, he's a businessman. We can't really forge our hand with him.
Do you have any money? I can, you know.
You could requisition a small amount.
I would. I'm gonna go over there later. Requisition some money.
We'll need a basket of breadcrumbs.
I'm sorry.
I read this in a book once. We'll use them to find our way back home.
Okay.
Just make sure they're not shiny. That'd be a problem.
That's fine. I suppose we could requisition that. Just go to the
Bread?
Just go to the deli
Bread?
and, or
Can
the
we just use like a
cafeteria.
rock?
There's
Are we
Marble?
gonna know rock?
Yeah,
Are we
there's
gonna
so many
find
rocks
half
in the
of rock?
mines.
It's 3 miles outside of the biggest city in the land.
No, while we're in the tunnels.
Yeah.
In the tunnels.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Now it's smart. That's fine.
She says, yes, you can requisition some breadcrumbs if you wish.
I will do post haste.
Okay.